how on earth am I meant to follow Brenda? That was fantastic, how inspiring. So I'm going to offer you today a bit of an alternative to the other guests, I suppose. So I'm here representing Rally International, and we're a volunteering abroad organisation. So we run expeditions for young people 17 to 24, but also we have volunteer management roles as well for people who are 25 years plus. So we go to Costa Rica and South Africa, and we basically exist to inspire, empower and equip the next generation of global leaders and active global citizens. So we're on a mission to give people skills and experiences that they don't get in the traditional educational environment. Our venture is will gain skills and experiences that are really valued by employers. So here I'm talking about gaining real-world leadership skills, leading a group of young people on a trek through the Drakensberg mountain range in the Kruger region of South Africa, for example. Communication, communicating across language barriers and cultures, negotiation, project planning. But importantly, volunteering with Rally gives you a real-world experience of the global issues that are kind of happening right now, whether it's the climate crisis, food inequality. So you get a real understanding of global issues and your space within that. So leadership and giving people leadership skills is the absolute keystone of what we do. So the program, 10, 7 or 4 weeks long, is a leadership strand initiative that runs all the way through that. So you'll be supported to become a leader, to lead a team of young people on an amazing trek, a community project and an environmental project as well. So that kind of brings me on to like, what on earth do we do? What will you be doing if you volunteer with Rally? So our expeditions are 4, 7 and 10 weeks long. Like I said, we go to Costa Rica and South Africa, and they consist of 3 different elements. So a community project where you, speaking broadly, live and work in a community working towards a sustainable solution to an issue that community may have. All of our projects are tied into the UN Sustainable Development Goals. So for example, the community project in Costa Rica is all about providing quality education for really remote indigenous communities who historically marginalised from social life, economic development and political life within the country. In South Africa, we operate in the Kruger region. Our projects are all about food insecurity, creating the sustainable, climate resilient food network that works in an area that's kind of symptomatic of a human nature conflict. It's then an environmental project in the Costa Rican rainforest, in the Kruger National Park, one of the world's biggest game reserves, working with conservationists on habitat renewal projects, getting your hands dirty, doing real nitty-gritty climate action. And then there's a trek. This often makes people kind of squirm at me, but one element of the expedition is a 19-day trek, 250 kilometers, carrying everything you need on your back. I did a 20-day trek through the Himalayas as part of my Rally experience. Truth be told, it was one of the hardest things I've ever done. I call it retrospective fun during the time. I didn't necessarily love my life. Monsoon season, really challenging, but the skills I got out of it, the resilience, the leadership skills, the communication, I pushed myself out of my comfort zone and I'm better for it as a result. So throughout the Rally process, there are kind of 4 challenges that I would say there are. So number 1 is getting on the thing in the first place. It is repetitive, there is an application process to get on a Rally expedition. Number 2 is fundraising. So you have to fundraise to secure your place. That requires tenacity and entrepreneurial spirit as well, and a lot of hard work. And then 3, a little detail of actually doing the thing, doing the trek, doing the community project. It is hard, you're in remote areas, it is a real challenge. And then lastly, there's this idea of action at home, so applying all of those skills, that leadership experience that you had in the world of work, going on after Rally to set up your own organisation, your own business, for example. So I would say Rally is the ultimate upskiller. With a 55,000 strong alumni, there are thousands of people that cite Rally as the start of their career, whether it's Tim Peake, the first British astronaut who did a Rally expedition, who cites his Rally experience as the start of his extraordinary career. Lucy Giles, for example, the first female commander at Sandhurst, similarly cites her Rally experience as the thing that sparked her amazing career within the military. Sue Stockdale, the first British female to ski to the North Pole as well as multiple founders and CEOs. Also, even royalty, Prince William and Kate have done a Rally expedition. So I'll be brief because it's boiling in here, and I'll leave you with this. So, choosing your career, I would say, is the biggest ethical decision you'll ever make in your life. So on average, it accounts for about 80,000 hours of your time, a massive amount. So the biggest question you probably have for yourself is, how do you want to spend that time? Starting those 80,000 hours, I argue, with a rally expedition is a fantastic way to gain really valuable skills and experiences that are valued by employers, but also are at the forefront of really pertinent, sustainable solutions to some of the most pressing issues facing our planet right now. So I was very brief. That's me. Does anyone have any questions about rally or myself? Yeah? That's a really good question. So there's multiple ways that rally generates revenue. So there's different types of volunteers, and the volunteer structure is based off of it's like means tested, for example. So it's means tested, the volunteer price. So if you can't afford to go on an expedition, then you're kind of funded to be able to do that. If you can afford it, then you pay what you can almost. We do school trips as well, private functions, and like career team building. So corporates and employers pay us to take their team out and have an experience that develops the leadership of their team. So lots of different avenues. Yeah. Anyone else? No? No worries. Thank you, everyone. Cheers.
Almost done, but not quite. Thank you very much, Jacob. I'm really grateful to learn of your experience and, of course, what Rally does for us. And if anybody's interested, I'm sure Jacob will be around for the afternoon. If you would like to ask any questions, please do go and find him. The final speaker of this session is Carey. I'm delighted to introduce to you the founder of Silver Mountain Productions, which is an Irish film and TV production company based in Cork and London, specialising in film, drama, creative documentaries, predominantly for the international market. Welcome to the stage, Carey. Would you like to use the microphone?
I would need a microphone, I think, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much for the introduction. Sorry, I just need to put my glasses on. So, I'm Carey Fitzgerald. I'm the Managing Director of Silver Mountain Productions. I've enjoyed a long and successful career in the film and TV industry. I started my career actually working for a theatre producer in a very, very junior position, and he decided to start making films. So I went to work for his filmmaking partner and worked in production for many years, and went on to work in PR and advertising. But at the time I wanted to travel and I didn't have any money, so I thought the easiest way was to get a job that would include travel. And that's when I discovered the little known about world of international film and television production and worldwide distribution. So when people think about a career in film or television, they normally think about the craft. They don't think about the business side of the industry, which is actually quite a big and important side. So the side of the industry that I'm in, worldwide sales and marketing, very few people are aware of the opportunities in this world. But this can be a very exciting job for anyone, especially if you're interested in marketing, obviously. But the industry itself is really dependent on business affairs people, so if you're doing business or law, accountancy, so there are all kinds of production accountants, royalty accountants, and all kinds of investment company opportunities there. In a nutshell, the global sales and distribution business, we represent productions, our own productions and third-party productions from other filmmakers, and sell the IP or the rights do these productions globally, literally all over the world. So that entails a lot of travel. We go to major film festivals and markets throughout the year. And we literally set up shop, just like as if you're going to any kind of exhibition, like I don't know, the Ideal Home exhibition or something like that. We do the same thing. Hundreds of companies set up shop, have all their posters up and their materials, and sell the rights to their films to buyers from all over the world. So we sold the rights to television, to digital platforms, and to cinema chains. So the equivalents of, say, the BBC or Netflix or Curzon in every country, basically, all over the world. So our year begins in February, when there's a big market in Berlin, which runs alongside the Berlin Film Festival, and it's called the European Film Market. So in February we go there, set up shop, as I said, and start selling our productions. Then the next big event is in Cannes in May, which runs alongside the Cannes Film Festival, which I'm sure you've all heard of, and we do exactly the same thing. And in June we have a massive event in London, which was last month actually, where the buyers actually come to London to something called the London Screenings, and we sell our films and productions and introduce what films have got coming up over the next year to the global buyers. So, as I said, you know, this industry is booming, and for those people whose parents have said, get a proper job, the film isn't a proper job, it is actually a massive industry. I've got some statistics here. I mean, the creative industries contributed £124 billion to the UK economy in 2022, and the high-end film and TV inward investment to the country brought £4.23 billion. So it is a proper job, it is a proper industry. So, as I said, there are loads and loads of opportunities out there. I'll be here all day with my colleague Dominique, and I'd be happy to answer any questions. But please remember that film and TV, it is a business, it's not just for creatives. The investors that put their money into these films to make them need to get their money back. So there are amazing opportunities out there. So really, this is just a real brief overview of what we do, and I'm happy to answer any questions. Okay. One tip, if you're approaching any company, if you're with a project or a film or an idea, don't give them information overload at the beginning. Don't send an unsolicited script. Try and do some research about the company. Sorry. And contact the right person. You know, perhaps send them a synopsis or a short pitch, about 40 words, and then get the conversation going. If you send too much information at once, it will just go in the bin. Yes? Cool. Yes, we're a Cork-based company, but we work from London as well. Well, we've been involved a lot with Ireland. I'm also the chair of Irish Film and TV UK, which promotes Irish film culture to the Irish diaspora in the UK, and we run 3 film festivals a year. So I've always had my feet in both camps, and Cork is where my family's from. So when we set up the business, that was the why go to Dublin when you can go to Cork? Oh, sorry. No. Because you're not dealing with the craft, you're dealing with the business side of things. So I don't know if you're studying business, for example, this industry, a lot of people don't know about, and it's a really interesting industry to get into. If you're studying marketing, I mean, I'm sure you've seen, you know, all the posters on the buses and all that kind of thing. That's a worldwide, global campaign. So it's very interesting to work in the marketing department as well, for film and TV. So it is a business.
What's the best thing about your job and the least best thing about your job?
I'm a real people's person. So I think the best thing about my job is travelling and meeting people from all over the world. The worst thing about my job is that I'm just so rubbish at anything administrative. So that kind of tends to get forgotten.
What's your favourite film you've made, or what?
Okay, when I was very young, when I started, when I talked about before, and I went to work for a film producer. I worked on the Monty Python's Life of Brian, which was I was very young, it was very exciting. I can't really say my favourite film. My favourite film at the moment is an Irish film that we are selling called Verdigris, and it was a totally independent film, which means the producers and the filmmakers just raised the money themselves and made it. It's kind of maverick filmmaking. So at the moment, that's my favourite.
It's very kind of you, Kerry, for sharing your knowledge and experience. We're going to break for lunch now. We'll be back at 1:15, where we will have one more presenter. Guests, if you head to the library, our chaperones with ESL lanyards will be able to tell you where that is. Otherwise, if you wish to remain here talking to exhibitors, you are more than welcome. Thank you very much.
What's in the library?
At lunch.